Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of your daily life show, Hala Kuwait. My name is Rita Abdo, and I'll be your host for this evening. From Hala Kuwait's team and I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone Eid Mubarak. My wish for you this Eid is to have peace and joy, embrace your life, and to always stay blessed, of course, you and your dear families. We would like to start off this evening by viewing our first report prepared by our team.
Kuwait, a place with a rich, inspiring history filled with challenges and triumphs. From a small fort named Kut to a modern country with one of the strongest economies in the world. Its people dwelled alongside harsh living conditions, diving deep into the sea waters to retrieve precious pearls and sailing further across the sea for commerce. Then, with the discovery of oil came wealth that brought with it abundant prosperity for the good of the country and its people. Kuwait's currency dates back to 300 BC, when Alexander the Great introduced minted coins in the island of Failaka. The 17th century witnessed an increase in maritime commerce in Kuwait, one of Kuwait's former names. Sailing vessels made their way to India, far Asian countries, and the coast of Africa. As a result, currencies from those countries were widely used in Kuwait. In 1886, the first Kuwaiti coin was minted during the reign of Sheikh Abdullah bin Sabah. The country's ambitions were achieved when the first Kuwaiti dinar was issued in 1961 during the reign of Sheikh Abdullah Salam al-Sabah as a symbol of Kuwait's independence and national renaissance. Kuwait's determination earned the country its nickname, the Pearl of the Gulf. Its independent spirit, constitution, unique parliamentary system, economic growth, and financial strength empowered the country's journey towards a promising future. There have been 5 issues of Kuwaiti currency notes since the introduction of the state's first issue of legal tender in 1961. By the second in 1970, the third in 1980, the fourth in 1991, and the fifth in 1994. The design of the 6th issue is exceptional in terms of its layout, principally due to the subtle portrayal of the Kuwaiti flag on every banknote, effectively adding a nationalistic feel that complements illustrations of the country's sovereign, economic, and industrial monuments. We additionally notice historic, cultural, and urban features that form the nation's identity, as well as visual reference to Kuwait's marine and desert wildlife. The 20 dinar note features Sif Palace, a dhow known as Al Boom, and a design incorporating pearl diving. The 10 dinar note features the Parliament building, the Sanbuk Dhow, the head of the falcon, and a camel in the desert. The 5 dinar note bears drawings of the new Central Bank of Kuwait building, the Batil Dhow, a Kuwaiti oil refinery, and a tanker. The 1 dinar note features the Grand Mosque, the Jalbut Dhow, and monuments from the island of Failaka. Kuwait towers are visible on the half dinar note together with the Shui Dhow, a beaked tortoise, and the white pomfret. The quarter dinar note brings together the Liberation Tower, the Tashala Dhow, an old Kuwaiti door, and the first ever Kuwaiti coin.
We are back from this interesting report, and we have been joined in the studio by our first guest for this evening, who will definitely be helping us get into the Eid spirit. We have with us Mr. LaShawn McCoy. He is the admin at the Grand Mosque. So it's a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. LaShawn.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to wish you Eid Mubarak.
Same to you.
And I hope you're enjoying the Eid vibes, I can say now, that is going on. To start off, I do know that the Grand Mosque is usually super busy throughout the year. What do you have planned for Eid al-Adha? How are you preparing for this Eid at the Grand Mosque?
Well, we've been preparing for the last week or two. We're expecting 6,000 worshipers at the Grand Mosque. So we've been coordinated with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Interior, and the Diwan Amiri to facilitate the ease for the worshipers to come, because as you know, the Amir will be at the Grand Mosque.
Of course.
So, we want to make everything smooth. Some of the worshipers, they want to greet the Amir. They want to, say Eid Mubarak and things like that. So, we've been preparing, and inshallah, God willing, everything will go smooth.
Hopefully, because 6,000 is a pretty big amount.
Yes, it is.
But I'm guessing you're used to having a big amount of visitors.
Yes, during the Ramadan period, especially the last 10 days of Ramadan, we get upwards of 100,000 to 130,000 worshipers. So 6,000, it sounds like a lot, but we're
pretty
able
much
to handle it. Yeah, we're able to handle that.
Yeah, you're good. You're prepared,
yeah,
I can tell.
Yes.
You were talking about how the Emir definitely visits the Grand Mosque, and people like to greet him and wish him blessings during the Eid period. How often does the Emir visit the Grand Mosque?
The Emir, he visits the Grand Mosque twice a year. That's, every year it's confirmed, the 2 Eids.
Yes.
And if there's any special events or anything else that, prompts his attention, the Emir, he will definitely come to the Grand Mosque. But, for sure, the Eid al-Fitr after the Ramadan, and of course, today's Eid al-Adha.
Yes.
He will be with us, inshallah.
Of course. And I hope that goes smoothly, and everyone has a good time and enjoys their prayers. For now, talk to me more about Eid al-Adha. What is it? What makes it so special? And what do people really look forward to?
Well, most don't understand that Eid al-Adha, sometimes we call it the Sunnat al-Ibrahim, or the practices of the Prophet Abraham. How it started out is Abraham received a revelation from Allah, or God, to sacrifice his only son, Ishmael. So, Abraham at that time was very obedient to Allah, and he was going to sacrifice, his only son. There are, narrations that said that Ishmael said, don't worry, if this is, Allah's will or God's will, do it. So, and at the very last moment when he was going to sacrifice his son Ishmael, it appeared a ram. So during this time, we sacrifice, a sheep, a lamb, a goat, things like that. And also during this period, pilgrims are in the Hajj period. They're in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. So one of the things that they do is they throw stones at the Jamar.
Right.
So that is because during that time, Ishmael and Abraham, peace and blessings be upon them, they were tempted by the devil, and they were throwing stones at the devil. So we reenact a lot of the things that Abraham did during that time.
Exactly. I know you do tours at the Grand Mosque. Do you get a lot of questions concerning Eid and what kind of rituals people should be doing? Oh,
we get so many questions. And a lot of the visitors, when they come, they look at me and they say, he looks Arab.
Right.
But when I start talking, they say, well, your English is real good. I say, I like to think so because I'm an American.
I'm American, exactly.
Exactly. So when I say that, it's like, they loosen up and they start to ask many questions about Islam, especially about the holidays in Islam, the culture and the custom and things like that. They ask me a lot of questions about Islam. A majority of them don't even, ask questions about the Grand Mosque. They want to know, well, we've seen this on television.
Right.
Is this true?
But we haven't seen this like in real life.
Exactly. And now we're standing in front of somebody that, you know, is actually living amongst the Muslims that was a, you know, Christian, a Catholic before. So, you know, they're intrigued by that. And
exactly.
That's
Maybe
a lot
they
of the
feel
questions I
pretty
get.
comfortable to see someone in front of them that has gone through the change, especially
Exactly.
that you're American, and they wouldn't have expected this conversion maybe.
Yes, that's exactly true, you know, and working at the Grand Mosque, so
Yes.
you know, it's special for them. So,
Of
you know,
course.
they get to see, they get to go inside a mosque. A lot of them that visit the Grand Mosque, it's their first time ever stepping inside the mosque. So they have a lot of questions. And then seeing a person there that used to be their religion, 9 times out of 10, their religion,
Right.
and converted to Islam and studied Islam, they have a wealth of questions. And, you know, I'm happy to be in a position to answer a lot of those questions.
That is amazing. We are going to talk more in detail about Eid and the Grand Mosque with you. But first, dear viewers, we are going to cut to a Eid song and we'll be back.
العيد هالهلالة كل الطرب يحلاله، العيد هالهلالة والله كل الطرب يحلاله، يا ربنا زيد النعم، يا ربنا زيد النعم، حسن جميع الحالة، حسن جميع الحالة. العيد هالهلالة هلالة الطرب يحلاله والله، العيد هالهلالة هلالة الطرب يحلاله، يا ربنا زيد النعم، يا ربنا زيد النعم، حسن جميع الحالة، حسن جميع الحالة. عيد الوطن يا محلى، هل السعاد هلوية، عيد الوطن يا محلى، هل السعاد هلوية، هذا اللي بي نتمنى، العيد هالهلالة كل الطرب يحلاله، العيد هالهلالة هلالة الطرب يحلاله والله، العيد هالهلالة هلالة كل الطرب يحلاله، يا ربنا زيد النعم، يا ربنا زيد النعم، حسن جميع الحالة، حسن جميع الحالة. نتمنى من الله يعيد الخير يكتر ويزيد، نتمنى من الله يعيد الخير يكتر ويزيد، الامل اصبح بالايد، العيد هالهلالة كل الطرب يحلاله والله، العيد هالهلالة يا الله كل الطرب يحلاله، ربي البيت تحفظ حكام الكويت يا الله يا ربي البيت تحفظ حكام الكويت بالشعب وهم حييت العيد هالهلاله كل الطرب يحلاله العيد هالهلاله كل الطرب يحلاله العيد هالهلاله كل الطرب يحلاله يا ربنا زيد النعم يا ربنا زيد النعم حسن جميع الحالة حسن جميع الحالة العيد هالهلالة كل الطرب يحلاله العيد هالهلالة كل الطرب يحلاله يا ربنا زيد النعم يا ربنا زيد النعم حسن جميع الحالة حسن جميع الحالة
العيد 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 اليوم العيد العيد اليوم العيد العيد يا فرحتي بالعيد يا فرحتي بالعيد عود علينا سعيد عود علينا سعيد يا فرحتي بالعيد يا فرحتي بالعيد عود علينا سعيد عود علينا سعيد فرحني بيوم عيدي فرحني بيوم عيدي خط عيدي تبيني خط عيدي تبيني فرحني بيوم عيدي فرحني بيوم عيدي خط عيدي تبيني خط عيدي تبيني عيني 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 على العيدية عيني على العيدية عيني عيني في روحتي والجية في روحتي والجية عيني 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 على العيدية عيني على العيدية عيني عيني في روحتي والجية في روحتي والجية عايدونة عساكم من عوادة عايدونة لا تقطعون العادة عايدونة عساكم من عوادة عايدونة لا تقطعون العادة عايدونة عساكم من عوادة عايدونة لا تقطعون العادة
هذه زيادة عبد السادة طلق مرته وعافي عياله هذه زيادة عبد السادة وطلق مرته وعافي عياله هذه زيادة عبد السادة طلق مرته وعافي عياله وهذه زيادة عبد السادة وطلق مرته وعافي عياله
We are continuing with the Eid spirit, and of course I have with me Lashan Mackay, the admin at the Grand Mosque, who is talking to us in detail about Eid al-Adha. But for now, there's obviously a lot of differences between Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. What are the differences? What do people expect differently between these two?
Well, one of the differences, between Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha is, some of the practices. As I said,
Yes.
Eid al-Adha is the feast of the sacrifice.
Right.
And Eid al-Fitr is, a feast of breaking the fast. So, on the first day, we generally do the same rituals. We have the Eid prayer, but after the Eid prayer, a lot of during Eid al-Adha, a lot of the worshipers, they go and they sacrifice, you know, the animal. So they have around 3 days to do that. The day before Eid, the day of Arafat, you know, it is the practice of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to fast on that day. On the 9th.
Was just going to ask you about that. Is there any fasting associated with Eid al-Adha? Because we're used to fasting more with Eid al-Fitr. That's what it's really about.
Yeah, for the Eid al-Fitr, you know, the whole month of Ramadan, we're fasting all 30 days. But the day of Arafat, we normally fast. And also, the first 9 days, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he used to fast the first 9 days. Now, of course, this is the sunnah. You know, it's not mandatory that you do that. But, you know, of course, you get extra rewards. And especially on fasting on the day of Arafat, you get a reward of the previous year's sins are erased and the year to come. So it's a great benefit to fast.
Of course, it's something that we do practice every single year, and it really gets you into the Eid spirit. So when Eid comes along, you're really excited.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Of course. How has Eid changed for you now, being in Kuwait, being the Grand Mosque, and really sometimes doing dawah for the people that are touring? So how has Eid changed for you?
Wow. Well, when I first became a Muslim, of course, I wasn't working at the Grand Mosque. And, you know, I was working with the U.S. military, and Eid came, and it was just another holiday. You know, I didn't understand. Yeah, exactly. They didn't even give us days off for that. You know? And I didn't really understand the rituals. But as I started to study more, and I started to work at the Grand Mosque, I started to see, wow, this is a very big event. This is a very big holiday. It's very you know, and it connects Islam with the Prophet Abraham, you know, who is the father of the 3 religions: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. So I started to give dawah, to talk about this. Look, this day originated from the Prophet Abraham. See how connected Islam and Christianity and Judaism is. And there are a lot of, you know, Christians, they really don't know that, you know. They just think Islam is what they see on television. Right,
what the media portrays, which is definitely very different than the daily rituals.
Exactly, you know. And that's the bridge that I'm able to connect, and speaking with the visitors and, you know, people about, you know, what Islam is. You know, it's not television, it's not, you know, we know the names of these groups. We don't need to repeat
There's a lot more that goes into it.
Exactly, you know. So, you know, I'm just happy to be a small part into doing that.
Which is amazing. I think that people could really benefit from the kind of information you're providing.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers, advice, or anyone that wants to visit the Grand Mosque, either on Eid al-Adha or even during the year? Sure.
You know, from Sundays to Thursdays, in the morning time from 9 till around 11:15, and in the afternoon 4:30 to 7, we're open for tours. You're more than welcome to come. We have some information that it's free. It's all, you know, you can come and take. You can learn about Islam yourself. Of course, we're there to give you a guided tour of the Grand Mosque. And we're there to answer any questions that you may have about Islam, the Grand Mosque, and some of the cultures of the Muslims, because as you know, each region that you go to, the culture is different. So,
of course.
But Islam, it kind of remains the same. So, you know, we're able to answer some of those things and provide, as I say, you know, we have booklets, DVDs, all types of brochures in various languages, you know.
So not just Arabic?
No, we have Arabic, English, French, and we have a booklet that has the Quran in every language in the world. So you're really accommodating to any person that visits or any tourist from any nationality. Exactly, you know, we try to do it for all, because, you know, not everybody speaks Arabic, and not everybody speaks English. So the Grand Mosque, we're very accommodating to, you know, the visitors that want to visit the Grand Mosque. That is amazing. Would like to thank you for all the efforts and the preparation going on for the Eid prayer.